Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Ahead on our news tonight, a woman is killed on the streets of New Providence hours before a national day of prayer. Plus, we are days before the National Regatta kicks off. And it's gold for Team Bahamas in CARIFTA swimming. Good evening, everyone. I'm Condino Knowles. Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. A team of investigators are tonight probing a suspected suicide on Norman's Cay. Detectives saying they received reports around 10 o'clock this morning that a man was found unresponsive, suffering an apparent gunshot wound. On arrival, police say they were directed to a garden where they found an adult male lying face down in a pool of blood with a wound in his upper chest. Police saying a firearm was also found by the body. We are being told that initial investigations revealing that family members were in a guest house when police say they heard what sounded like a single gunshot and later found the victim in the garden unresponsive. The body was later transported to New Providence, where police say they will await an official identification by next of kin. We are certainly continuing to follow this. Be sure and visit Our News Bahamas on Facebook for all this and other new developments. Meantime, a woman is dead tonight and another in police custody following a shooting on Pinewood Drive in New Providence shortly before 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Investigators saying when first responders arrived on the scene, they were told that two females were standing outside a building when another armed female opened fire, shooting one of the women multiple times. Investigators say the victim was transported to hospital where she later died. This latest killing happening hours before prayers were sent up for the country this morning in a National Day of Prayer service at Bahamas Faith Ministries. Men and women of the clergy gathering to seek spiritual guidance and help in addressing issues in the country, among them the issue of crime. The head of the Christian Council challenging the church and Bahamians to do some introspection on the state of their own affairs.
We have gunned them down in their homes and in the streets. We have shed innocent blood.
I come against, hallelujah, Jesus, the spirit of division that is among us in the church, in the name of Jesus.
Bless us so that we faint for you. Bless us that we get to the point where we cannot live without you. Bless us, Lord. Bless us to long for you.
Those were among the prayers of pastors from across the country, as the challenges this nation faces are great, although not at all unique to us. It's why, as a nation, Bahamas Harvest Pastor Mario Moxie in opening today's service saying we must not neglect to pray.
The sin of prayerlessness. And the reason why we're here today is because as a nation, we don't ever want to commit the sin of prayerlessness, ceasing to pray for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And so it's on that I welcome you to this occasion, our National Day of Prayer, where we have persons from throughout the length and breadth of our Bahamas gathered together to pray for this nation.
Among those at today's service, Deputy Governor General Cynthia Pratt, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, Opposition Deputy Leader Shannon Dawn Cartwright, and F&M Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands, among others, as songs of praise were lifted up. Christian Council President Bishop Delton Fernander sending up prayers for our government, but not before this word of introspection.
We have in some incidents become a people with little regard for each other, that we've become a country that is less neighborly, certainly less family oriented, that we've moved from the old landmark. We've seemingly lost a sense of spirituality, of understanding in God we live, move, and have our being. I don't know what you might be struggling with right now, but God is still the answer for the world today.
Bishop Fernander also addressing the killing of a woman yesterday before asking Bahamians to reconsider the way they use social media and challenged the church.
We are predominantly losing our men, but this one was women. But we have to make a turn. We use social media as the portal to show the worst of us. Today we want to use social media to show the best of us. And so many of us have become prisoners to our silos. That I don't care what church you belong to, what denomination you are a part of. If you are a child of God, you are my brother and you are my sister. I believe that we as a people must acknowledge that together we are better. People have spent great amount of money to divide us, but we as a nation must find the strength and the fortitude to come together one more time to restore our Christian values.
Meantime, 3 men arrested in a major drug bust in Abaco this weekend after authorities say they found 1,254 pounds of marijuana in a residence in Cooperstown. The drugs have an estimated street value of $1,254,000. The drugs were seized in a joint operation between the Drug Enforcement Unit with OPAT, U.S. Coast Guard, Drug Enforcement Administration, Customs Border Protection, and Police Marine Support. Police say the 3 men, ages 54, 34, and 31, were brought into the capital around 2 a.m. Monday. This is also a story that we are continuing to follow. And in just a few days, the first national regatta to be held since COVID-19 was declared a pandemic 2 years ago will kick off in Exuma. It is certainly an exciting time for islanders and enthusiasts who are happy to get back on the high seas and enjoy the sights and sounds. Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources Clay Sweeting telling our news that everything is set for a successful return of the cultural and sporting event.
Everything is prepared. It wouldn't be as large as regattas have we had in the past, because of the short notice in regards to lifting of the restrictions and things of that sort. But we're ready to go.
Minister Sweeting says the Exuma Regatta will be a test run for other upcoming events.
Our ministry is committed to ensuring that regattas across the country and festivals go off without a hitch, because we understand that these regattas are important to family islands and are the economic drivers that family islanders look forward to in many instances. So we're excited to be a part of it. We're excited that it's going to go off without a hitch, and we'll be there along with a lot of other ministers and members of the government to enjoy Exuma.
And days ahead of the return of Family Island regattas, residents are reacting to relaxed COVID-19 protocols, with one resident expressing concern that things could get out of hand, while another saying he feels everything will be fine. Berthany McDermott reports that despite mixed feelings, that excitement remains for the return of regattas.
Days ahead of the first Family Island Regatta since the start of COVID-19, one Exuma resident is expressing concern over safety protocols. Straw vendor Princess McKinsey says she's hoping COVID-19 protocols are followed, as we are still in the COVID-19 era.
But I just pray that they don't, overdo it, because COVID is still, I hope people wear their masks. I'm going to wear mine for sure.
The Bahamas has recorded more than 33,000 COVID-19 cases and 789 deaths. Exuma has recorded 558 cases. Neil Musgrove of Sky Juice King is also weighing in. He says everything should be controlled once everyone follows the protocols.
I don't think it will be a problem, because once everybody do the thing, and they wear the mask, and, you get your drink, your food, you leave, go over there, and once everybody done. I think it's going to be under control. Well, I just want to say that everybody, there's nothing to be afraid about. Come out, love yourself, come get your drinks, your native food, do what you got to do. Just love yourself.
Despite the concern, locals are in high gear preparing for the event. This week, officials from the Ministry of Agriculture and Family Island Affairs revealed that $220,000 will be spent on the Exuma Regatta. The regatta is slated for April 21st to the 23rd. National Family Island Regatta Committee Chair Danny Strawn says the onshore activities will be supplemented by Bahamian entertainers. However, onlookers can still look forward to the traditional sailing races each day. Minister responsible Clay Sweeting says the event will create numerous opportunities for Family Islanders and is the birth of many businesses.
We recognize how vital it is to the Bahamian economy and its role in producing jobs for generations of Bahamians yet unborn. Ladies and gentlemen, as a minister from the Family Islands, I am indeed excited about the future for our festivals, homecomings, and regattas. There is no nation in the world more suitable for sailing, competitions, and these marvelous events.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Thanks, Berthany. Be sure and stay tuned to Our News this week for continued coverage of the National Regatta, and be sure to visit us for all the latest on our News Bahamas on Facebook. We've now got your first look at weather with meteorologist Greg Thompson. He's in the Weather Center. Good evening, Greg.
Thanks, Candino, and a happy Easter morning, everybody. We have some cloudy conditions outside our studios right now. A couple isolated showers still. 77 is our current temperature. It's humid outside. The winds are out of the north-northwest at 6 miles per hour. They're falling variable most of the time. And your feels-like temperature very humid, 80 degrees. Unsettled weather pattern across the Bahamas today, and it's been that way for the last 2 days. We have an upper level low that's spinning just across the southeastern Bahamas. That, coupled with a lot of moisture, is keeping our weather pattern rather unsettled. Some showers and thunderstorms affecting most of the islands. We're also watching a frontal boundary that's moving off of Florida. We expect that to get in here late tonight through early tomorrow. That's your first look at weather. Your extended forecast is still to come.
Well, still to come on Our News, migrants apprehended by the U.S. Coast Guard handed over to Bahamian authorities. And did someone say gold? Team Bahamas snags it in CARIFTA swimming and in track. Then later on, we'll tell you about planned upgrades on the way for Arawak Cay. It's coming up when Our News returns.
Got size at 6'5".
Hi, this is Shamika.
The United States Coast Guard handing over 82 Haitian and Cuban migrants to Bahamian authorities. The Coast Guard saying in a recent statement that a crew transferred the group, including babies, to a Bahamian authority late last week after they were stopped in the country's waters. The Florida Keys-based crew handed over 67 Haitians and 15 Cubans to the Royal Bahamian Defense Force on Friday after they were detained near Anguilla Key, over 100 miles southwest of Key West, in 2 separate stops. The Coast Guard saying migrants are taken to the Bahamas when they are found in Bahamian waters. The Bahamas CARIFTA swim team still holding on to first place heading into the final day of competition. Meanwhile, track picks up another gold. Marcellus Hall has all the details in sports.
Welcome to our sports, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. Still here in Kingston, Jamaica, as we move into the final day of competition at this year's CARIFTA Track and Field Championships. Meanwhile, our swimming team, they're doing pretty good. In first place heading into the day. We'll see how they do.
CARIFTA's championships continuing in their respective locations. Bahamas swim team is doing extremely well as they are currently atop the leaderboard in terms of point standings. Taking a look at where the Bahamas is right now, they have 470 points. They're ahead of Jamaica, who is in second with 392.5 points going into the final day of competition. Cayman Islands sitting in the third spot with 367, and Barbados with 266 in the fourth spot. Trinidad and Tobago rounding out the top 5. So the Bahamas right now still holding on to first place as they go into a very pivotal final day of competition. There has been a steady flow of Bahamians going on to the medal podium. We hear from Zaylee Elizabeth Thompson, who talks about the team and her performances so far.
Well, I'm really excited to see how the points are looking after tonight, and I'm really excited to see how Team Bahamas continues to claim their victory for another win.
Meanwhile, our track and field squad still trying to get some more medals to their total. 2 gold medals now after a gold medal coming last night in the men's pole vault, under 20 pole vault. So the Bahamas pick up another gold medal there. Now 2 gold medals, 5 silver and 3 bronze in total for the Bahamas, as they are still currently trailing the rest of the field. But the Bahamas continues still feeling pretty confident heading into its final day of competition. We'll see how that turns out as the competition continues throughout the course of the day.
All right, thanks a lot, Marcellus Hall, reporting for us tonight. When we come back from the break, why your experience at Arawak Cay may be a little different soon. We've got more on planned upgrades. And later, find out why one hotel is singing the praises of locals. The details when Our News returns.
Got size at 6'5". 665.
Hi, this is Shamik.
This is our news. Welcome back. Plans are underway to enhance public facilities at Arawak Cay. Works and Utilities Minister Alfred Sears confirming as much, saying, given the fact that Arawak Cay is a major cultural center, the environment and overall experience must reflect that.
It is a cultural center, unlike many of our other cultural centers, which is owned by Bahamians. Bahamian entrepreneurs, Bahamian artisans, occupy these various establishments, and we have a commitment as to deal with the immediate problems, but also, as you see, we are accompanied by Water and Sewerage Corporation, BPL, also our acting chief architect, so that as we go about, we can scope works to improve this complex.
Arawak Cay vendors have long complained about the state of public restrooms as well as water and sewerage issues. The Works Minister says it's one among numerous issues that will be addressed.
We're looking at the grounds, we're looking at the buildings, we're dealing with issues of the disposal of waste such as oil, and which, if it's put down the drain, can cause backup and clogs. So issues about the quality of the operation, not just the physical infrastructure, but the process of work and the disposal of waste, we are looking at and will be addressing in a comprehensive way.
Local hotels across the country having to pivot in order to keep rooms occupied, especially with visitor arrival numbers down for much of the COVID-19 pandemic. And at Comfort Suites Paradise Island, executives telling our Jasmine Brown that it's a strategy that worked.
At the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, travel had come to a near standstill, with visitors few and far between. Staycations became a way for hotels to still make money. Director of Revenue at Comfort Suites Paradise Island, Leslie Taylor, says it's the locals who help save the day for the all-suite hotel.
The local market, of course, is very, very important to us. We value it, and that's why we have all these sales. It literally took us through the pandemic. Without our Bahamians, airports were closed, we had minimal travel, people were afraid, but our Bahamians stuck through with us. They came, they stayed, they played with us. Everybody was, wearing their mask and using hand sanitizers and practicing social distancing, but enjoying themselves as well. So it is very important that we maintain our reputation with our local market and always strive to have them return and come back.
A part of Comfort Suite's strategy has been making staycations affordable with monthly specials aimed at getting heads in beds.
We are Bahamian managed, fully Bahamian management hotel. And with that being said, we meet on a weekly basis. We have Bahamian families. We are Bahamian families, so we know what our people want. We want to extend our gratitude and our love and our support to our Bahamian people and let them know that this isn't just a hotel for our international guests. This is a hotel for our people as well. So with that, every month we dedicate a special rate just for our local residents here in the Bahamas.
Despite the fact that visitor arrivals are up and the Bahamas is one of the hottest destinations in the region, Taylor says hotel execs have not forgotten locals.
We do want the Bahamian public to know that we will always have something for our local residents. This is something definitely that you can go ahead and plan for with your families, anniversaries, birthday celebrations, anniversaries, anything that you want to come on down and just celebrate your loved ones.
Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
All right, thanks, Jasmine. When our news comes back from the break, we'll tell you about a major opportunity for scholarships that's coming up this weekend. And don't go anywhere. Greg, he's back with your extended weather forecast. It's coming up when our news returns.
Got size at 6'5".
Hi, this is Shamika.
Welcome back to our news. Weeks after announcing 1,500 scholarships are up for grabs for students looking to study in the United States, organizers of the Think HBCU College Fair say the response has been encouraging. The Bahamas Think HBCU College Fair is set for April 23rd, that's this coming Saturday, and will provide more than 1,000 students throughout the country the opportunity for scholarships at 20 historically black colleges and universities in the United States. The college fair has awarded more than $7 million worth of scholarships to 300 Bahamian students in the last 2 years. Think HBCU member is Zoe Gibson-Boleg.
We have seen a surge in persons registering for the event, but we are urging high schoolers to continue to register. The beauty of the virtual fair is that it means that high schoolers from across the Bahamas can register. So typically with the fair that took place at the Hilton Hotel, it meant that only persons on the island were able to attend. But now we are urging and we look forward to seeing high school students from Inagua, from Mayaguana, from Abaco, from Andros, from Grand Bahama, from across the length and breadth of the Commonwealth.
Now, to learn more, you can visit Our News Bahamas on Facebook to get more information. And with that, it's time now to take things over to Greg Thompson, who is in the Weather Center with your extended weather forecast. Greg?
Thanks again, Candino. Welcome back, everybody, for our second look at weather. An unsettled weather pattern has been with us for the last 2 days. Upper level low spinning across the central Bahamas as well as the southeastern islands. With some moisture in place, that's keeping us rather unsettled. Showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Some of those showers and thunderstorms were locally heavy and strong, prompting some severe thunderstorm warnings for portions of the Bahamas. And we will continue to see that weather pattern throughout the night and into tomorrow. Frontal boundary across Florida. We're watching that one. That's going to be getting in here. Not as strong, but coupled with that upper level low, we will continue to see some more showers and thunderstorms in the forecast tomorrow. And that frontal boundary should move into the central Bahamas by Wednesday and weekend. Behind that, boating forecast, your winds will be picking up for the balance of the week, but small craft caution will come into effect tomorrow behind that front. Southwesterly winds initially switching northwest to north at 15 to 20 knots. Your seas running 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. Your high tide will be at 10 to 8 tonight. For the central and southeast Bahamas, southeasterly flow at 10 knots. They will fall light and rebel at times, and your seas running 1 to 3 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. A look now at your extended forecast through next Monday. Gray skies for our Easter weekend, but we know the reason for the season. Back to you, Kendino.
All right, thanks a lot, Greg, and thank you for joining us for our news tonight on this Easter Monday holiday. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Kendino Knowles. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Until then, have a wonderful evening.